Nobody came over and dusted. Nobody came over and did my laundry while I was gone. Nobody cleaned out my refrigerator. So my food was turned. I don't know, bro, man. I could be back out on the road as soon as January.
Yeah. Can you say with who?
Not yet. It's a big one.
It's a big one that's not announced yet, or what?
It's announced. It went on sale last week.
Oh.
I don't want to jinx myself.
Longer leg this time, or what?
4 legs.
Oh, you get 4 legs on it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So what's up? You guys
We didn't get to Canada, bro.
didn't get to Canada?
No. And I saw an official announcement from one of the festivals, and it was somebody posted a screenshot of it that said that certain members of certain bands were unvaccinated, and that's why we could not come to Canada.
Oh yeah.
And all I can speak to is the one person I know for sure, and that's the only. I'm not even going to bring up the other names that were brought up in that little media blurb, but I know for sure that Dave was not vaxxed, man, and that's why we didn't go. That's why we didn't go.
I heard a couple of, or not heard, I seen a couple of recordings of him ranting? On stage. Yeah, fucking.
God dang, guy never wore. He never wore a fucking mask one time, man. We were in a bubble, touring in a bubble, and we didn't wear a mask one time. They also lost 6 guys off their bus.
Really?
Yeah. We never lost one guy.
Nice. Was he the only one that never wore one?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much everybody else stayed compliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw one. I don't know how many times he ranted, if he ranted every night. And I mean, the rant he had, was leading into Holy Wars. So
yeah.
It kind of fit with the song, but when I saw it, you just hear all these people around him, around whoever was recorded, just like, shut the fuck up, just play your music, fucking, but the only thing I thought sucked, I'm like, man, you got all these guys out here trying to be on the road with this shit, trying to stay safe, trying to fucking make it through the whole thing, and you're up here ranting against it and fucking. And why do they all have to fucking live like that if you don't, if you're not going to do your part, But that was just me, man.
Yeah. We were just glad to make it through. I mean, Pat Dickinson is a hell of a production manager, and he made sure that we did what we needed to do to make sure that those dates that we could do got done.
Yeah.
And, he's fucking the best, man. He's the best, man. Shit.
He's been doing that a long time now, yeah.
PMing, yeah, he has been PMing for quite a while. He PM'd for Slayer for 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
So it was good, man. It was the rooms were hard. Like the very last, well, what ended up being the last show in Minneapolis at the Armory, where the Lakers used to play.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day when they were still out of Minneapolis or whatever. You can park 3 trucks and you've only got 8 feet of dock space. You know what I mean? To turn all that gear onto. And then it's a ramp, 2 ramps up to get to stage level.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to go back up another ramp to get on top of the deck. So it's fucking a hard push.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when and that's another thing. We had 2 full-size sets, man. Lamb of God had a full-size set. Megadeth had a full-size set. And then you put Trivium and Hatebreed and their backline gear and backdrops and shit up on there too. And in these smaller more compact venues, it really made it, you know, difficult to try to stay on schedule, you know, and we had to have the deck ready for Megadeth to do sound check at, I think it was 1:30 every day or 1 o'clock, 1:15.
Yeah.
We made it every day, but still, you know, it made for some hard load-ins
Yeah, it looked like
and hard load-outs.
Looked like quite a rig, man. Fucking
Rig was dope,
hanging.
man.
I thought it looked
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it ends up looking like it's got 2 spines, but it ends up looking like this with the 2 major spines, and that's the downstage edge. And
Yeah.
the spine articulates the center one, so it's like it's like that, right, with the other fingers. But yeah, and then it had 2 torms and Septrons. It was gorgeous.
But
yeah, I got to figure out a better way to do stuff from the road because the production quality.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard though, man. You know what I mean? I mean, that was another thing. We had a lot of layover days. Like at one point, we didn't have our own room for like almost 14 days in a row.
Wow.
We had rooms, but we were only laying over for 12 hours at a time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, that's a rough deal for, you know, for a tour. And it felt like we were going through the same cities over and over again at one point. Because, you know, we'd have to backtrack because of the way the thing was routed. And, you know, I mean, it's just, and it's a totally different beast. I get it. You know what I mean? I get how it's difficult to route places now because you don't know what you can do where. You know, Live Nation, as far as Live Nation goes, they have their names on a lot of those venues. You know what I mean? There are a lot of, we played a lot of Live Nation venues because it was a Live Nation tour. But, you know, they did their best to, you know, stay compliant too, as far as, you know, rapid testing everybody when they came in. And I mean, I got my brain tickled a lot, bro. And, you know, it's amazing. I'm quite surprised that I never popped hot because, you know, I caught Kabuki in the pit, man, with 8 feet between me and the whole fucking crowd. You know what I mean? And twice a night I was in that pit catching Kabuki, man, you know what I mean? So
your vaccine is strong.
my vaccine, that Pfizer, is good shit. Trezor is good shit, bro. But I don't, I don't foresee anybody who's thinking about going out to tour not uh not being able or being able to without being vaccinated.
Right.
And it's still going to be touring in a bubble. I mean, bands like Ministry, they already canceled their fall tour. They never even kicked off. You know what I mean?
Didn't they just announce it pretty recently?
They just announced it right before I went out, and then they postponed it like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Damn.
Till March of next year. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So that's another thing. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what January will look like as far as touring goes.
Right.
I don't know what's going to happen with COVID in the winter.
Right.
They're already, the sky is falling. Don't don't gather too much for Thanksgiving and all that other good shit. But you know what? I'll tell you this. Vaccine. I feel like the vaccine works. I feel like mask mandates worked. As far as us having to wear our masks 24/7, and look at my shit. It's still bent. See how it's still bent?
Dude, mine's bent all the time.
It won't fucking straighten out. It won't straighten. You know what I mean? But I mean, touring in a bubble is difficult, but it's not impossible. And if you're careful and you're conscious of how you're moving throughout the environment, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to do 5, 6, 8, 12, 20 weeks out on the road. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to feel better. You got to feel better.
But it's different. It's so different, man. You know what I mean? It's not the same animal for sure.
You got to feel better about actually getting one under your belt, though. I mean, and
yes, definitely, because it was the only way I could see getting back to the industry was to catch one. Because now, you know what I mean? Now I'm home. I got a little bit of money in my bank, so I can not stress about not having a full-time day job and slowly work my way back into what's happening in the region.
Right.
I mean, I've got AEG blew me up with new paperwork for every I guess you got to do it per venue now. So I have a stack of paperwork to do for every AEG venue in the state.
Right.
I don't know, man. I got an email or a letter from DOT saying I need to prove that I'm vaccinated and all that good stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. I could do that, but I'm not coming back to your building until we discuss a new rate. Because I'm not working for the same rate I've worked for the last decade.
Right.
Anywhere. You know what I mean? Nowhere.
Right.
Nowhere. So I'm not falling back into that fucking struggle bus. Yeah, but it was fun. It was a good experience, man. I was just getting back into touring shape, man, when it was over. I could tell you, man, I was hurting like a bitch, man.
Yeah.
It was hard 16-hour days, 17-hour days. Last guy on the bus, so I got a top bunk, so I had to climb up every night or climb down in the middle of the night to take a piss because I'm old. So, it was exciting.
You have a lot of young guys on the crew?
Not really. There are a lot of the guys. Well, some of the guys. Yeah, I guess so. But they all knew what they were doing. They were all good techs. You know what I mean? One of the lighting guys was on Slayer with me, Wes, my friend Wes, he's a beast, man. He did it all, man. Until I got there, he did it all, man. But again, as soon as I got there, I relieved all the pressure on all those groups, like the Megadeth crew, the Lamb of God crew, and then the production crew. All that extra shit that they had to do, I could take care of and give them time to concentrate on the shit that they actually should be concentrating on, because, they're picking up slack for a guy that they were lacking.
Right.
And, the last day, nobody didn't come up to me and say thank you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not one person, even the band members, man. Like everybody in Lamb of God came up to me and fucking were like, thank you so fucking much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was a bit of a struggle, I guess, when they first started.
Right.
You know, I'm just happy that I can go out and make a difference. Make a difference, baby. This is good times, man.
I
Good
bet.
fucking times.
I bet.
Fucking Hatebreed, man, was awesome. I don't know if you saw that video where we fucking photobombed them on their last show.
Yeah.
Because they take a band pic on stage every night. The Marco, the drum tech, takes a picture from the little drum riser, and on the last show, Lamb of God and everybody in the production crew, we kind of just bum rushed them when they went out. And fucking jumped on stage with them for that photo. They were pretty stoked about it. But man, them guys, you know, they've been doing this for what, 25 years, 30 years maybe, and they still fucking, even as an opener, man, fucking crush it every night. Every night I would be on stage right, man, for I never missed it. I never missed it for Destroy Everything, dude.
Yeah.
I never missed it the whole time. It's so good, man.
Welcome to the metal tour of the fucking year. Thanks for showing up early. We're gonna go back to the rise of the.
So fucking good.
So I don't hear you talk a lot about Trivium. Was it just not a lot of memorable stuff for you, or just?
You know, I get it. They're more of a niche band. I don't know that they fit into the bill as easily as, I mean, they would be great supporting Megadeth as a package on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, one of the last things I saw was Dave talking to the whole band about next year Trivium, and they're I guess it's Dave is a fan.
Yeah.
Dave or Dave's kid, one of the two, is a fan. And you know, I mean, they get a lot of radio airplay with a couple of their songs, you know what I mean? But it's just, you know, I just wasn't my ish.
Yeah.
They didn't make me come out on stage. As a matter of fact, when Trivium would play, that would be production time for dinner. So every time we did the set change from Hatebreed to Trivium, as soon as the set change was complete, somebody would come on the radio and announce Trivium dinner. It's time for Trivium dinner. And not because we, you know, not out of disrespect, but only just because it was the best time for us to do it. Plus, it didn't matter.
Right. Right.
But you know, Dave, man, Dave. I caught Dave nodding off and fucking, and I'm not NDA, so I don't give a fuck. I caught Dave nodding off in catering several times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, doing that oxy nod and shit.
I didn't know he had kids.
Yeah. Yep. He's got adult grown kids.
Really?
Yep.
Are they out on the road with him too, or no?
They came for a show. I don't remember which one it was at. They came in for, I think it was his wife's birthday or something. Oh no, it was Dave's birthday. It was his birthday.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't even know he had kids. Excuse me. Right on, man. Got anything happening since you've been back home? You just enjoying being home?
You know, no, nothing. Just, you know, post-tour depression kicks in right away when you all of a sudden you're back home and got to deal with your real life. But I'm used to it. You know what I mean? It just takes a few days to shake off. It always takes me like a good 5, 6, 7 days to shake the whole thing off, man. Because You know, you from the time you wake up, your mind is racing as to what you got to do and how you got to do it and how you got to get it done based on where you're at. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So there's so many constant calculations all day long, and my mind is at rest. My body isn't. I lost some weight. I lost some weight. I got tight in some places that I needed to get tight into, and now I can't. But I will say this: I need to fucking stay on top of my shit because I'm still not in touring shape. So I
Right.
got to get if I'm if I'm going out for 4 legs next year, I need to get my ass in gear a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
That whole time of the pandemic, and then getting that fucking work from home job, kind of, you know, I kind of let myself slide a little bit, but
Yeah. It puts it on.
yep. But you know, nothing fucking 5.5 weeks on the road won't cure.
Right.
Food
Well,
was
cool.
fucking terrible.
Was it?
Terrible. Yeah. Mostly terrible.
You were saying last time it was pretty good.
Well, that must have been at the beginning.
Just like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago.
Yeah. Knot Fest. Knot Fest was atrocious, man.
Oh yeah.
Shit they fed us at Knot Fest. Yeah. So they send us 2 days prior to going to Knot Fest, they send us a menu that we can choose our meals off of, because we had a compound which we were trying to isolate ourselves from everybody else at Knot Fest. You know what I mean? It had all of our bands. Our whole tour package was in a compound. And so we pre-ordered all this shit, and then, you know, everybody got breakfast burritos right for the morning that we arrived at Knot Fest for our load-in. By the time the food was delivered from catering, there were no more tortillas, so the fucking thing was a spoon of fucking scrambled eggs and a couple of slices of briefly seared ham, like sandwich ham, in a fucking styro clamshell, and we were like, what the fuck? No utensils and shit. You gotta take the ham and pick up the eggs with it. It was very not fest, you know. 30,000 fucking people though, man. It was I sent a video of this fucking circle pit that was just fucking massive.
Yeah.
I mean, fun. Corey's kid is in a band called Vended, and they started the whole day.
Wow.
And they're pretty fucking good, man. They're like super, super young. They're really, really good
Yeah.
for what they do. And of course, you know, Slipknot finished the night out, and man, that whole crowd was all about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it was Iowa,
Right.
so that was a fun one.
Good
Of
deal.
course, you know, festivals are their own fucking thing.
Right.
It's a totally different, because like we showed up with just basically our sets, and they mimicked the best that they could our lighting rig, you know. But yeah, it was good. I mean, my kabuki came out of the sky pretty much every time except for 2 times which are questionable. One time for sure, Pat, the production manager, my friend Pat, was fired. He fired all the kabuki drops. So one time for sure, he did not fire correctly and caused me to have to do a manual pull. And then I had to do another manual pull, and it was on the same rag. So it's my guess that maybe he was pushing that same button on that occasion as well. But I could only get him to admit, because, you know, you test your kabuki system before you fucking send it to trim, you know what I mean? And yeah, it always tested fine. Always tested fine. But I got to see a lot of people. You know, I got to see the Lee brothers when we did New York. A lot of people that I hadn't seen since last time I was out in 2019. So that was good. It was fun. Of course, man, it's always a fucking joy to fucking travel with bands that you can relate to, interact with. I mean, you know what I mean? Fucking hanging out with Hatebreed and Lamb of God is fucking good shit, man. Every day is laughs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A way to escape the pain and the fucking struggle of what touring really has become.
Right. Well, good. Again, I'm glad you made it all the way through.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you know.
Yeah, all the way up to Canada. We were ready, man. Everybody was ready to go. Everybody had their Vax cards. Everybody had their passports. We were ready to roll. Well, almost everybody.
Almost. Cool. Glad you made it through safe. Glad you had a good time. Anyway, you got anything else?
Yeah, no, you know, I'm happy to be home. Still getting used to being home. Again, feeling blessed. Feeling blessed that I got to come back. That I got a good return to my industry, the way I needed it to happen. You know what I mean? I'm considering myself lucky. I consider it a win. Hopefully everything will be cool and shit won't change as far as shit that's been scheduled for next year. Maybe I can get back out there on the road next year too for a few legs.
Cool. I'm glad everything went well.
Yeah, man. What I miss? Fucking Broncos suck today.
Yeah, so the Saints.
I started drinking IPAs because that was like all there was in the bus.
Well,
In the bus cooler every night. IPAs. Dale's Pale Ale. I didn't like IPAs before this, but they're okay now, I guess.
and that's what you
As soon as I
got.
got home, I bought a bottle of tequila.
Oh,
Yeah. Smoked weed every fucking day on stage.
yeah,
Didn't give a fuck. Okay.
I still haven't. I still ain't smoked shit. That's how it goes. All right, man.
All right, bro.
I'm gonna go cook some supper.
All right. It's good to see you.
You too, man. Glad you're home, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, man.
All right, later, brother.
Peace.
Peace.